Vanakkam by Hyder Ali Sayyid, as you once say, united under Tamil shape.
We do that. In between, just a memory, just something I remembered. What is the general story, Haider, about Adam and Eve? What fruit Eve ate it?
It's DNA actually.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about what you believe. What people say.
Some say apple, some say gunda, gunda, that wheat, something like that. Yeah.
Weed. That's why weed smoker was
Some
talking about.
some scholars say wheat, Christians say apple. Yeah.
Okay. When Christians say apple, where was Garden of Eden? Were they sure that like an apple was growing there?
No.
Because apple is generally, you can find that Westerners eat it. I think it grows in a very cold climatic condition, I believe. Right? That also a much later one. During Adamant period, an apple tree, seriously. But actually awakening, I'll tell you where it comes. It can be whatever the tree. It can be anything. When there are two kind of actions, like we do action and non-action. When someone tells you, don't do this, don't touch something, whatever. So people say, yeah, okay, fine, I won't do it. That is without thinking. Someone has given you instruction, you simply follow it. We don't ask them why you are saying it. Is there any specific reason? And blah blah. No questions asked. Obeying. Then you have to actually think. To obey, you don't have to think. But not to obey, you have to think. Why did he say not to touch? Why did he say not to eat? Is there anything? What if I do it? What will happen to me? Why can't I try it? If I do it, what will that guy will think? Can I deal with that problem? So a person start thinking. That's why the tree is known as tree of knowledge, because they started raising questions. But that's why the story is not true, because it is the period is explained when the humankind started questioning. That's probably the beginning of evolution period. It doesn't need to be one man and one woman. Now you know why I say that like it can't be common ancestry. Because one particular section started asking question, they do a lot of things. Then the same time, different sections, they're still there without having any trigger to think. But when these people meet the other one, then they get triggered. They learn the thought process. They start thinking. They started growing along with them. So the guy who first learned that in the segment, started to think, they had to travel everywhere to wake up the other people. That travel is what today you are finding the remnants in all the lands about Tamils. So this is what they were doing. It is not they wanted to do trade. It is not they wanted to dominate. No, they wanted to wake up other people. And some of them that who were like, syncing well with them, they had relations. That is one section of indigenous people who were the similar race but in different lands. They know that there are different people in this world, but if you mix with them, that is going to disrupt everything. Because today it is found that there is another section of races genetically different, differently they are functioning. I'm in a different mood today. I think very. I remove the guard, everything. So I just feel like talking. Usually, I think that okay, everybody's thinking one way. Why should I go break their thoughts? Let them find their truth. Unless and until I'm in that one state, I can't speak. Actually, I mean, Hyder knows my mood base. Actually, honestly, I'll tell you. I'll tell you the secret. Whenever I speak about my land, to bring everyone into one mode and listening mode. Because once I'm done with that, people will be listening without uh, thinking certain thing on their own. They become sincere in listening because that my land triggers people from inside. Because that's about our ancestors, the core truth about ourselves. But actually, I've given one piece, especially the last one that I spoke. Once they learn to think that they want to wake up the other people, it is just one part actually. One part of. I'm not in the mind to speak about end of ice age and beginning of civilization because a lot of information have to come out in a flow. Otherwise, that it's a waste. But I need to. I've never spoken right just because my mind is not is processing the information doesn't mean that I'll be able to sync it well and speak. So piece by piece that I come out one piece I've spoken here, another piece I've spoken somewhere. So once after I've spoken that I need to process that information, what I've spoken. It's more of I'm not actually telling you anything. I'm actually telling myself what I was thinking, and I need to process what I've said, and to probably, I would decide it would happen naturally that what is the another piece has to be attached because none of these information belongs to a single individual. Probably it's not even mine. That's why that in our books always say that just because we say something doesn't mean we own it. Because how do we even know this information is actually from came out from our learning? It might have come out from your DNA memory and to you. So never be proud of what you have said because it's not yours. They say it right. The first sin is that being proud. There is no reason to be proud of what we have said. There no reason to be proud of, like, sharing information because it's most of the time it is not us because we did not invent it. We didn't invent it, right? Understand that, like, as far as I'm concerned, I understand that I am living at the mercy of my ancestors. Because of the mercy of my ancestors, because of what they have learned, because what they have passed, is why that, like, there's somebody like me and dislike me. So if anything happens, I will not have a superiority complex or inferiority complex. I will not live that world because for what happens, I am not actually the cost. Cause our book teaches that. Our most of the Tamil books, directly or indirectly, it teaches that. That's why they have come with this another set of philosophy. You actually that cannot. Uh, I'm looking for English word. Prize one person, glorify one person because you glorify a person for what he is, because whatever he is, it's not his. It the same way it may be his somebody someone else's. He's simply reflecting it. Same way that, like, just because. So never be proud of what you have said because it's not yours. They say it right. The first sin is that being proud. There is no reason to be proud of what we have said. There no reason to be proud of, like, sharing information because it's most of the time it is not us because we did not invent it. We didn't invent it, right? Understand that, like, as far as I'm concerned, I understand that I am living at the mercy of my ancestors. Because of the mercy of my ancestors, because of what they have learned, because what they have passed, is why that, like, there's somebody like me and dislike me. So if anything happens, I will not have a superiority complex or inferiority complex. I will not live that world because for what happens, I am not actually the cost. Cause our book teaches that. Our most of the Tamil books, directly or indirectly, it teaches that. That's why they have come with this another set of philosophy. You actually that cannot. Uh, I'm looking for English word. Prize one person, glorify one person because you glorify a person for what he is, because whatever he is, it's not his. It the same way it may be his somebody someone else's. He's simply reflecting it. Same way that, like, just because somebody doesn't have anything to glorify, you cannot look down upon him because that is also not his. That's what says in Yadum Bure Yavaram Karish.
Thank you.